In this video, we'll discuss about the open closure principle. By the end of this video, you will understand why we need the open closure principle, how to implement the open closure principle. Without getting any further delay, let's get into the topic. The open closure principle states software entities such as modules, classes, functions, etc. should be open for extension but closed for modification. This may sound tricky, but to put in simpler words, design should be extensive enough to easily add new functionalities as per the new requirements. And classes should never be modified unless a bug exists in the code. In ideal scenario, classes once coded should never be modified. First of all, here comes the question why we need the open closure principle. Leaving the code unchanged avoids the need for regression testing of the entire functionality. When you make changes to the existing functionality, you may end up testing the whole code. This may lead to the expensive maintenance costs and increased overhead costs. You have to employ more people to do the testing, and this also increases the testing time taken to validate the functionality. We may also experience a deviation from the single responsive principle if open closure principle is not followed, and you very well know this may lead to havoc. Now let's look at how can we implement the open closure principle using our code. Now let's look at the invoice code that we have developed in the past. So it has got two methods, add amount and the deduct amount. Let us assume that we have a new requirement to calculate the discount for the existing customers. So what do? We simply go here and we define a method to calculate the discount. What we do? We will be needing the invoice amount. Let's assume 5% of the invoice amount was given as a discount for the existing customers. We'll return the 95% of the invoice amount as the invoice amount after the discount. So with this, what we are doing, so we have added the method here. So we have to make changes to the add amount and even the deduct amount method by adding this particular statement. So when we are doing this change, what exactly are we doing? Modifying the existing code, right? So this is a new functionality, but we are making changes to the existing code. What happens is that we need to test the entire functionality, which may lead to costlier maintenance and increased overhead costs because you may now need to employ more people to do the testing. This might look simpler in this smaller scale, but when it comes to the bigger projects, it might lead to heavy costs. So how can we do this? That means how can we handle this without making changes to the existing code? So what we do is we'll remove this. We take this code completely out of this invoice py. We'll go add new more. Interface. We define an interface for the existing customers with an abstract method called calculate discount, and we implement the same in the invoice for existing customers class. So what we do here is we implement the same logic that we have implemented earlier in the invoice by completely pulling it here. So we are going to return the 95% of the amount for the existing customer. That means we are giving a 5% discount on the total bill. So if we go into the client code, we are calculating the invoice amount independently but passing it through the existing customer module to calculate the discount. And let's run this code and see what would be the output. We have provided a discount of 5% to the existing customers. So it would be a total of 38. This is how we can implement open-closed principle. The other way of implementing open-closed principle would be by inheriting base class by the derived classes, and that is much more simpler than this approach. If you have any queries, please feel free to comment and I will be answering all your queries. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.